Am I the asshole for snapping back when my friend's boyfriend commented on my bikini? I have 29 am in a group holiday with my fiancé and 3 other couples. We are renting a big villa. This story concerns my friend Casey and her boyfriend Josh. For context, I don't hate Josh, but he requires a firm approach. He will try his brutal honesty stuff on you to see if you'll let him get away with it, but once you show him you won't put up with it, he calms down. That said, he's prone to some stupid remarks. So, yesterday we were all having a relaxed day by the pool. I came out of the house in my bikini and Josh Wolf whistled and said, "Damn, I really chose the wrong friend," loud enough for everyone to hear. Without missing a beat I turned to him and said, "Why are you acting like you had your pick of the litter? I would never have looked at you twice and you know it." Josh laughed off the comment and then went back to reading his book, but Casey pulled me inside and yelled at me for embarrassing her and Josh. She said what I said was demeaning and I basically called Josh ugly. I was pretty stunned because actually I think what happened was Josh called me a piece of meat. We argued and I basically said that I wasn't responsible for her boyfriend's crass behavior and went back outside. Casey is still giving me the cold shoulder, as well as the 3 people who told her she was overreacting. It's making everything awkward. I don't think I'm in the wrong here, but some of the group have said I was overly cutting with what I said, considering Josh was already out of line. Basically they said I joined him in the gutter. My fiancé says both Casey and Josh are nut jobs. Am I the one who took it too far? I'm sorry, did your friend miss the part where her boyfriend called her less hot than you and implying that he would toss her aside for you? She glossed over the diss at herself and prickled at the insult to him. How low is this woman's self-esteem? Not the asshole. Josh left himself wide open for your response. Not the asshole. Josh objectified you and insulted Casey. She took her insecurities out on you, probably because you're a safer person to be mad with than he is. Not the asshole. You're right. Josh publicly objectified you and you put him in his place. Not the asshole. And it's weird that Casey is mad at you for putting her boyfriend in his place instead of mad at her boyfriend for not only objectifying her friend, but also basically saying he finds you more attractive and chose wrong. Not the asshole. Casey is upset because you implied that her boyfriend wasn't good enough for you. Based on Josh's comment, that may very well be true. Not the asshole. She is displacing her anger. It is easier for her to be hurt and angry at you than it is for her to confront her boyfriend. It's unfair to you, but there's not a lot you can do until she wakes up and realizes that he is a dipshit. Not the asshole. Casey should redirect her anger at her boyfriend, who pretty much announced "you're hotter than her" to the whole group. He sounds like a huge a-hole. If I was Casey I would feel disrespected and embarrassed by asshat Josh. She has misplaced her anger towards you. For context, I don't hate Josh, but he requires a firm approach. He will try his brutal honesty stuff on you to see if you'll let him get away with it, but once you show him you won't put up with it, he calms down. There's a word for this, it's called asshole. Not the asshole. People who say they are brutally honest can almost never take any sort of comments reflected back at them. It's sad that the person he was insulting is defending him. Your fiancé sounds like he has the correct perspective. Not the asshole. Your response was totally appropriate. You didn't embarrass anyone. Josh embarrassed his GF with this comment. I'm surprised Casey blames you. Not the asshole. If anything, Josh called Casey ugly and she needs to open her eyes. I don't know, WTF is wrong with some women always attacking other people instead of their own men. If my man did that, you wouldn't have to defend yourself because I would be the first to respond to his dumb comment. Not the asshole. She was already embarrassed by his crass, unnecessary statement, which was increased by your savage, hilarious, accurate comeback. She didn't want to take it out on him, so she's pouring it onto you instead. The fact that 3 others are on your side and seemingly no one is on hers tells you everything you need to know. Not the asshole. Casey is more angry at you than at Josh, who blatantly insulted her by saying he chose the wrong friend. She's likely honestly more upset with him, but as you're her friend and not her boyfriend, you're the easier target. I agree with your fiancé. Both Casey and Josh sound exhausting. Your other friends are out of line though. You didn't join them in the gutter, you neatly stepped over it. You're not the asshole. Josh said you are more attractive than Casey, and suggested he should have hooked up with you. You shot that down. And Casey is mad at you? Haha, she's focusing her annoyance on the wrong person. Not the asshole. If he wolf whistled at you and made a rude comment, you're fully entitled to banter back. Laughing was the right response. Casey was in the wrong. Not the asshole. Her boyfriend hit on you and objectified you and she got pissed at you. Make it make sense. He was acting like a dog. You had every right to put him in his place. If I were you, I'd cut both of them off. Josh for obvious reason, but the GF as well. BC, she seems like the type to cause drama and blame you if he ever tries to make a move. Best to just avoid the whole mess before it happens. Not the asshole. Don't start none. There won't be none. Not the asshole. Game recognizes game. Not the asshole. It sounds like Casey is just upset Josh thinks you're hotter than her. He needed to be put in his place. There's no reason he should have even made that stupid comment. Ntar. Casey was deeply hurt rightfully at what he said and she couldn't call him out cause he's an asshole, so she's lashing out at you because you are safe. Not the asshole. In my opinion, Casey is in the wrong for a couple of things. 1. Why is she accepting this nasty behavior from Josh? I wouldn't like it if my fiancé told my best friend he chose the wrong friend to date. 2. She was out of line to tell you you were wrong for sticking up for yourself. If someone made a nasty remark, why shouldn't you say something back? Wishing you best of luck. Not the asshole. Casey may just be angry because her boyfriend thinks you're hotter than her, and because she apparently still wants him, she's taking it out on you. Not the asshole. Casey should direct her anger at Josh for treating her friend like a piece of meat and B for disrespecting her in front of everyone. Unpopular opinion it seems, but ESH. Josh is obviously the biggest AH because that comment was wild, but yours was also an insult to your friend and maybe owe her an apology for that, saying that she was the only one that a guy like Josh could get. Casey is also an adult and if she's going to date an AH she maybe needs a thicker skin and to not ruin the getaway for everyone else. Not the asshole. That was the kind of comeback I would have thought of hours later as I was falling asleep when it's no use to anyone. Not the asshole. Casey is saying this is about you putting Josh down. Really, Casey is but hurt because her BF keeps hitting on or making crude remarks to other women. Mutual friends are taking sides because that's what groups do. Ask them what they'd have said instead, and let them ponder that. Then change the subject. There's no winners in the game Josh tried to get you into. This isn't a you problem, this is a her problem. She should solve it. Date someone who isn't commenting on others. Not the asshole. It's not only Josh who can be brutally honest. I understand your friend's upset. BC, you still insulted her fiancé. Smiling face with open mouth and cold sweat. Not the asshole. X200B. Josh is an AH for objectifying you and acting as if he had free pick. Casey knows that Josh is an AH and tolerates it so long as he is an AH to others. Casey is an AH herself for getting upset with you for your response to Josh's comment. God forbid that she tell Josh to quit being an AH, as it's much easier to attack the victims of his assholery when they react. The only way that you could be TA is if you continue to be friends with people this